Hey, what's up, everybody? Brent from Brenspeed. You know what? It's a shop tour day today. I walked out in the shop. I was like, I know we did a tour a couple weeks ago. I usually only do these every 1 or 2 months, but there's pretty good variety, but a lot of Paxton Novi 2200 3-valve Mustangs today. So hey, stick around. We're gonna go in the dyno cell. We're gonna look at a supercharged sport Trac. We're gonna come out. We're gonna look at a Whipple Coyote swap Mustang, some 3-valves, some general maintenance. We're gonna go check that out that we normally don't do. Then wrap it up with talking about what you're gonna see in the next video. So I have Doug with me. Doug, come over here. And hey, you know what? If you haven't, subscribe and notify, stay up to date. That's where you're gonna watch all these dyno videos, informative videos, and shop tour videos. So Doug, follow me. So we're in our dyno cell. We're wrapping this up right here. So we have a 2010 Sport Trac. You know, they didn't make these for a lot of years, and a lot of people wish they still made them because they do have the 4.6 3-valve in them. We installed our Striker Supercharger package. It uses an Edelbrock Supercharger. Doug, let's just take a quick peek at it. But Doug has one of our old Striker kits on his Explorer, and it runs the Roush Supercharger. But Roush discontinued that, so we use the Edelbrock now. So we installed this one right here this week. We're just finishing up some tuning on it. But it's a complete package we install here at Brenspeed. So what are they, Doug? Are they like 475 horse on the stage 1? Yep. So it takes you up flywheel, 475 horsepower on the stage 1. Then we also offer a stage 2, which is a little bit more boost, and you get a fuel pump upgrade. And that one is what, Doug?
520.
520 horsepower on a truck like this. And here's what's cool: 4.6 3-valve. So I ran this on my Mountaineer. I also used to have a Sport Trac we used for development. Ran it on that. He has an Explorer, so they work on Mountaineer, Explorers, and Sport Trac Adrenalines. It's a really cool setup and a really easy way to have instant torque, and that is awesome. So why don't we go out in the shop, look at a bunch of Mustangs that got built this week, and like I said, we have some general maintenance we're going to look at, which we normally don't do, and then a couple cars that you saw in the last shop tour that are almost finished. We won't show those too much though, but you know, twin turbo, brand new GT500, that's awesome. You're going to see that in the background. Doug, follow me. Hey, and listen, a lot of these videos I do when everyone's on break, but the timing didn't work out, so they're going to be working. I might just pull them off the side and say, take a minute off on the car you're working on. So sorry if you see a bunch of random people walking around, but hey, we got to get work done. Here we have a 3-valve Mustang came in. It's the Novi 2200. We installed 4 of these intercooled Novi 2200s this week, which is pretty cool. That's how popular they are. I think at the end of this, when we look at a bunch more of them, we'll talk a little bit more why they are so popular. But excuse me, Roscoe, I'm just going to take a second. He's in the middle of the install. I want to show you something on this. This is air-to-air intercooled. So Doug, back up. A lot of you really don't know what is intercooled. You understand what intercooled is, but this is air-to-air. So you have the large air-to-air intercooler right here. The boost comes out of the supercharger, runs through this. When you're driving down the road, just like your radiator, everything gets cooled, your air is getting cooled, comes up into the engine, and this is our Novi 2200 package. This car is essentially bone stock, except for this right here. So we can install these on a bone stock car or a car that has cams, headers. Doesn't really matter. You can have a manifold. You can have delete plates. Doesn't matter. We have calibrations for that. We can do a mail order. We can ship it to you. You can come in for an install. Next, over here, Edelbrock Supercharger. Logan's finishing this up. So the Edelbrock on a 3-valve Mustang, which we have these for all the way up to present Mustangs, but the Edelbrock right here, this is our 520 kit. You get a choice of 520 horsepower or 560 horsepower. You get the TVS 2300 Edelbrock. Why do people like these? When you go wide open throttle, it's instant boost. You get a competition cold air intake, Kohler spark plugs, 41-pound fuel injectors, proper calibration, Kinney Bell booster pump, everything on that. We have these in stock. We can ship it right to you, or you can come in for an install. Now, these have been on a back order for 9 months. They were in California. They're moving manufacturing. They're moving their warehouses. 9 months we were without these, but they're in stock now. We're excited. We have a bunch of these lined up for installs coming up over the next couple weeks. Some of our clients aren't going to come in until the weather clears because we're in Indiana, so maybe like April. But hey, if you want to do a transport, we do that. You email quote@brenspeed.com. Say, here's where I am. What's it cost to get transported? I want to get my vehicle in now, but the cool thing is, it doesn't matter what your vehicle is. But I think we can go Florida, Texas for around $1,500 enclosed. So that's what it would cost one way enclosed. I don't mean on like an open transport where you're getting salt and just rocks all over your car enclosed. And then the minimum they charge is about $600. So it doesn't matter if you're only 2 hours away. You want to transport it, you're going to be paying about $600. We can go all the way to Texas for $1,500 typically, so that's awesome. That's the Edelbrock right there. It's a 520 kit. We have an EcoBoost. This is Logan right here. You can get back to work. We have an EcoBoost F-150 right here. And I'll tell you, so here's what we're doing to this. And you don't see this in here a lot, but if you have a higher mile EcoBoost F-150, and when it's cold out, on a cold start, you'll hear the rattle. It's basically like a timing chain stretch. It's a known thing. So this client has an S550 E85 Edelbrock. We're talking like 9-second Mustang, but he likes our work, so he wanted us to do the general maintenance on this. You don't hardly ever see cars coming in here or trucks for general maintenance, but we have so many clients out there that, you know, like us working on their Mustang or like us working on whatever. They might bring something like this in and say, hey, I want you guys to tackle that rather than, you know, somebody else. There's all kinds of people that can do these sort of repairs. He just wanted us to do it. So Dom's over here wrapping this up. So we did basically new front drive accessories and the chains. That way when you start it, you don't have the loud rattle that will go away when the engine warms up, but it's a known thing. You can Google that and it's a problem. But getting that one taken care of. Doug, let's do a lap around here. Can't really pop the hood on this 500 right here, but here's what's going on. Whipple supercharged, built engine. It's just in for an engine freshening. So we pulled the engine out, went through it, and freshened this engine up. We're getting ready to put it back together right now. You might see a video on this in the future, but it's Whipple supercharged, making killer power. So really not much to show you on this because the engine's not in it, and we don't have the engine going up in it yet. So we're gonna walk right on by. Doug, here's another 3-valve we just finished. So convertible, check this out, red interior. Two red, Doug loves red interior. He's like a huge red interior guy. 2 of these red interior cars in here right now. Let's take a look over here. Again, another stock 3-valve GT. This week we installed the Novi 2200. So this is what it looks like complete. So the one we looked at earlier didn't have the induction on yet. It was still being assembled. This one's finished. It's getting ready to go on the dyno. But so you get the Novi 2200, about 12 pounds of boost at 6,500 RPM, which is perfectly fine for a stock engine. But we do the 47-pound fuel injectors, Kennyville boost pump, puller spark plugs. So a lot of the same parts, kind of like on the Edelbrock, because you get a new induction system. This centrifugal boost builds with RPM. Killer way to make really good power, but it's on a stock car. You can put on a car with headers, put on a car with camshafts, Ford racing manifold, throttle body, no problem. So that's a killer setup right there. Let's keep moving, Doug. 98 GT. So this is Coyote swap. We built this car summer of 2020. Our client loves this. Gen 3 Coyote, 10-speed automatic. He absolutely loves this car. And look at it. You would have no idea this is a Coyote swap car, but now, over here, he came back in, Whipple supercharged. So we still have to finish tuning on this, but it is running. We did the Gen 5 Whipple supercharger on this. It's going to be a pump gas car, so we're talking like 93 octane. We're not getting 85 or anything on this, but the Gen 3 Coyote, 10-speed auto, full Coyote swap. We do these in a lot of different years of Mustangs. We do them in other type vehicles as well. You can always email quote@brenspeed.com and say, hey, what's this cost to get installed? What's funny about this are most people that we do Coyote swaps on, they start off naturally aspirated. And Coyote swaps take some time to build, but I feel like about either before the car arrives and we're ready to start on it, or maybe we're a few weeks into it, you get the phone call and they say, it's already there, let's do a supercharger. So most of these leave with a Whipple, and that's a really sweet setup. Hey, look at this. Come here, Doug. Another 3-valve Mustang we finished this week. What do you know? Novi 2200. Why do so many people, this engine compartment looks a lot like the last one. Why do so many people get this? Well, for the money, it's intercooled. You got an intercooled supercharger, adding well over a couple hundred horsepower. For the money, that's really good bang for the buck. It's really reliable. We've been running these since 2005. It's basically a non-issue supercharger setup, so that's why we really like it. But if you don't have the money for the intercooled, what a lot of people buy is our non-HO kits. It's called our non-intercooled kits. But we have them in satin polished black, but they're upgradable. So you can buy the cheaper version now. It's not the big 2200 unit, it's a 1200 unit. But you're still talking like 9 pounds of boost, adding 150 horsepower. But down the road, when you want to do an intercooler, you can do an air-to-air intercooler, you can do a liquid intercooler, but it can be added. So you can start off small now, enjoy that power, and then upgrade it later. So that's the Novi, another Novi. There's another one sitting out in the parking lot. We're not going to walk outside because it's like 10 degrees right now. But in the future, we just about got these wrapped up. In the last shop tour, you saw this 2021 GT500 twin turbo. It's finished. It runs. Still have to do tuning on it. But you're going to see a lot more info on this. And then that sweet 427R right there that we did a Coyote swap and a Whipple supercharger. So hey, I'm Brent from Brenspeed. Thanks for watching this shop tour. Please subscribe and notify if you like dyno videos, shop tours. You can email quote@brenspeed.com to find out, hey, what's it cost to get built. But you can get on brenspeed.com, look at most of these parts, and get a really good idea of current parts pricing. We have a lot in stock. So we have most superchargers in stock right now. So pretty much if you have an 05 to present Mustang, we have something in stock for you. We can ship out same day, or you can schedule an install. So again, quote@brenspeed.com is what you find out to say what's it cost to get built. Thanks so much for watching. Leave that comment. I'll be happy to answer. Have a great day. Speaking of quote@brenspeed.com, who are you emailing? Well, you are emailing George. So that's George from Brenspeed. He's worked here over 10 years. Doug, I don't know how happy he's going to be, but let's go in what we call the bullpen, which is our service center. So our facility here is 2 levels. You have the second level, which is all the sales. So you might call in Doug behind the camera. You may talk to him. We have our web department up there that operates our website. We have accounting upstairs, but downstairs is the service center. So let's just go see who's in there right now. Let's go see if we can find George. Surprise him. You didn't know we're going to walk in. He'll say hi. Doug, follow me. Cut through here. This car is getting ready to go on the dyno. That's the Edelbrock. It's going on right now. They're going to pull that Sport Trac out. We're going to get this tuned. It's getting picked up today. Then we have one of these Paxtons will go in right after it. You know, something else about our dyno. You see all the stuff that's being built in here. And this is just today. We have another building full of vehicles. This is just today. What is being worked on today? Why do you call? I want you to tune my car. Here's the reason we don't do that. Because every one of these vehicles, for the most part, leave from in here, they go on the dyno, they get tuned. Our dynos book every single day, probably at least 2 vehicles getting wrapped up, and that's why, as much as I would love to, as much as we would like to, you can't just call and say, hey, I built my car at home, I want it tuned. It's not because we don't want to, it's because literally there's no availability. Dyno book every day on cars coming out of the shop. Let's go find George. We're going to sneak in through here. I am allowed to go through here. So this is our bullpen right here. Doug, follow me. Oh, George, guess what? Hey, everyone, this is George. He's like, what's up? It's shop tour day. This is George Street. So when you email quote@brenspeed.com, so you know what he looks like. This is George. He'll sit here and he will reply to you and let you know exactly what it costs to get installed. And the more info you can give him when you email in, hey, you know, instead of just saying, what's it cost to get headers installed? How about Hey, what year's your car? Is it even a car? Is it a truck? What headers do you want? As much info as possible. It'll speed up the process, eliminate some of that email tag back and forth. But again, I'm Brent from Brenspeed. Leave that comment. That's George.
What's up?
Game of surprise. Thanks for watching.